team defense, stay into his body, and push him down to a crowd.
Eddie Jordan, of course, has to contend with this Cincinnati team. And Justin Jackson is a guy who could be a key, another senior in this game tonight.
Well, you want to throw it inside. Cincinnati likes to throw it inside to get started playing inside, outside. Starts with Justin Jackson. Cincinnati likes to throw it inside to get started playing inside, outside. Starts with Justin Jackson.
And for Eddie Jordan, his Rutgers squad, it's been a tough year. Dean Jack's going to have to fight the battle in the middle.
He's going to have to be really good with his possessions when he catches it at the elbow and not turn the basketball over. Rutgers needs his production if they hope to win today.
There's Eddie Jordan, his first year as Rutgers coach. Of course, former player here, former standout star player here for Rutgers, and came back home to turn this program around. Mick Cronin, he said at the beginning of the year he thought they had a chance to be good. He just didn't tell anybody about it.
Trying to keep the pressure off of his team. Good move by the coach.
He also, if you're wrong, you go out and say, what? You didn't know what you were talking about. So underway in the noon tilt here. Kilpatrick goes to work first. Almost looked like he wasn't sure which direction to go.
Yeah, they have Miles Mack at 5'9", guarding Sean Kilpatrick. It'll be interesting to see if Cincinnati will post him down low to take advantage of that mismatch.
And Kilpatrick's strong down there when he gets the ball in the post well, when he does post up.
Rutgers will go play a little man. They'll play a little 2-3 zone to try to slow down Sean Kilpatrick.
Kilpatrick's floater won't go. And this time Rutgers comes away with the rebound to Dean Jack.
Nice.
Oh, they just leaked out. Wally Judge throws it down.
It's one of the few times you see Cincinnati make mistakes defensively. Everyone looking at the basketball and not turning around and picking them up on the backside. Wally Judge able to take advantage on that possession.
Yeah, that's a great point. Cincinnati will make mistakes, but not normally at that end of the floor. Thomas, offensive foul as he shed the defender.
Shaquille Thomas at his height, he should just turn around and just raise over the top, try to get a little too much. Cincinnati is slow to react in defensive transition, and I think that's an area today, John, that Rutgers has to take advantage of. They don't want to play against that tough, stout Cincinnati defense every time down the floor. Misses and makes. I think they should look for early transition opportunities, and if not there, get into their secondary break.
Judge gets it in the paint, turn around, off the iron, won't stay down. Rutgers setting up a tough defense thus far, guarding Kilpatrick.
Nice move.
Jackson turns, won't go.
It's a nice little matchup inside with Jackson and with Wally Judge. Two big guys down on the low box.
Kilpatrick from deep. And a little too deep, just goes off the backboard.
It's what you want if you're Rutgers. You want him shooting contested jump shots all afternoon.
Gotta be careful with the basketball against Cincinnati.
Nice job by Rutgers getting back.
That'll still belong to Cincinnati.
It's almost like you can tell that Cincinnati's a little tense today, and I think part of that is college teams aren't used to playing 2 games in under 48 hours. They just played on Thursday night.
Oh, that's a great point. Mick Cronin definitely made sure we knew about that. Nice little roll to the bucket by Jackson. Won't stay down. Cincinnati will still retain the basketball with a fresh shot clock. And Mick said, what about this conference? Making us play on Thursday and then Saturday at noon, too.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough on Saturday. It had to be at noon. Kilpatrick drives in. Switches it back outside. Deep shot by Gwynn.
John, Cincinnati so far 0 for 6 from the floor. 1 turnover early here. I think, and right now, the pace is going Rutgers' way. Rutgers want Cincinnati to have to play a half-court game. They're not as efficient offensively in their half-court offense.
J.J. Moore with that miss. The problem is for Rutgers is they need to start taking advantage on this end as well.
Yes.
It's great that they're holding Cincinnati, but if they can't score, Cincinnati's defense will eventually wear them down. Possession goes to Rutgers. SMU and Memphis are also playing right now at noon. Memphis, of course, played Thursday and lost.
Licking their wounds
Big
because Cincinnati put it on them. They were so physical, forcing them to several turnovers. You got a lot of easy baskets. The Cincinnati team that almost put up 100 points.
He too can't get that one to drop, and so again Rutgers comes up empty. Kilpatrick loads up. Oh, halfway down and out. One and done for Cincinnati. Miles Mack thinks about a three.
Waited too late. Kadeem Jack had deep post position in the red. Rutgers can ill afford to miss the easy opportunities.
Patrick just picks up a foul. This is first. Cincinnati, of course, if they win, they're guaranteed a share of the conference title. And we talked about this before, Fonz. They won't be talking, if it is a share, back in Cincinnati, they won't call it that. Those are the conference champions.
Exactly.
That's what the banner will say.
And how special would that be for them being in their first year in the American? And I think there's an awareness of it, and I think it's showing in their offense. Sean Kilpatrick 0 for 3 so far.
Oh, Jack from Mack.
It's a really nice read by Mack. A lot of times I've seen this year, John, that the guards, when they come off that ball screen, are late in making that pass. That one was on time, and it allows the big to just catch and finish.
Sanders. Lawrence. Great job defensively by Rutgers. Finally, Jackson turns that and dances it off the iron and drops down for Cincinnati to get the Bearcats on the board.
Justin Jackson did a terrific job as that basketball's coming around the horn of ducking in low with both feet in the red area. And if you let a big get it that close, he's going to score.
Back under the double team, tossing it over to Moore. Judge sends it back outside. Moore this time from deep, knocks down a three. That travel.
Rutgers doing a nice job of controlling tempo. They needed to create some offense on the offense.
Louisville lose. Louisville gets 1 seed with SMU wins. Cincinnati, if Memphis wins.
A coin flip, really?
Fawn, there is going to be a test. And just like the SAT, they're going to take the essay out of it now. This has been removed.
I like that. I like that.
Judge puts it on the floor, drives, gets it on the iron, goes after his own, but Jackson grabs it and takes it away.
It's a good move for Wally Judge. He's been really working on that part of his game.
Win, thinks about a three, close to looks, finds Sanders, he's open for a three, and knocks it down.
The unselfish play by G-Lon Gwynn. Could have taken that shot up top, but the extra pass is what breaks the defense down.
Mack coming off a screen, but that's going to need an offensive foul. Screen was a little too big.
Yeah, Wally Judge still moving as Miles Mack is coming around. Watch this nice play. I love unselfish basketball. Forces the defense to have to help too long of a run. And if Jermaine Sanders can give Cincinnati that kind of offense, they've been looking for a second and a third score. If they want to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament, he's going to have to give them some buckets coming off the bench.
If everybody's going, and then we get an offensive foul going the other way. So, freedom of movement coming into play here.
And a lot of that is both players' responsibilities. The guard, if he knows that a ball screen is coming, has to be patient to allow the screener to get there and get set. And the big cannot come when he sees that his guard is on the handle.
Judge draws a crowd. Tries to enter in the post, but is stripped away.
They got to be careful of spacing there. Guys way too close to each other. You want to be about 15 feet apart from each other for proper spacing.
Wynn thought about a three again. This time floats it in. Cincinnati hitting the boards hard. Rutgers comes away with it though. Mack. More spins off the glass and good.
The pit transfer has been a dynamic scorer for Rutgers. He's not only a good scorer, he's great defensively, and he's an unbelievable athlete out in transition. He's given them some really good leadership since coming to the program.
Patrick steps behind the screen and knocks it down, but it won't drop.
Patrick got 0 for 4 from the floor. Rutgers doing a really nice job of being aware of where he is on the floor and making sure that he's taking challenge jump shots.
Mack now. Some more. More again. Goes hard in the glass and floats it in.
He's had to play actually a lot of guard as he's come over to Rutgers because Jerome Segeers and Miles Mack are so small at their guards, 5'9", 6'1", respectively. He's been a better matchup against some of the bigger guards that they've run into in the American.
He's fired up too here on senior day.
Yeah.
Sanders steps back. A little too deep. Judge with the rebound.
It's a tough shot.
Oh, look at this. Leaking out of the G2, and he throws it down. No, that was Kadeem Jack, pardon me. Just like you said before the game, Kadeem Jack had to be big. Kadeem Jack. Welcome back. Rutgers. Well, you think they're not playing for anything? If they ever love to spoil Cincinnati's charge to the very first championship in the American. Copain, banged up freshman, tries to enter that pass, and it gets tipped away right away. Kilpatrick looks to drive, but look at the challenge. There are at least 3 hands there. There's going to be a foul, but again, Rutgers done a great job defensively on him thus far.
They really have, and I was saying earlier that Sean Kilpatrick can really knock down the jump shot, but I think he's got to shot fake some of those and try to get to the rim. That was a beautiful read, but I love how Rutgers is coming to converge on him. But if you can get to the free throw line or get a layup and see that basketball going through the net, sometimes the confidence of a player who's usually a good scorer now comes back as they're able to see it go through the rim. Let's see if that's the case for Sean Kilpatrick. Well, I said if.
I think you killed that. I think that's your fault. I think Sean Kilpatrick needs to look up here and say, Vaughn, you messed me up. 0 for 4 from the field already, and 0 for 1 from the line. He can break the goose egg.
Let's see if that gives him a little confidence going forward. Now he's seen it go through the net.
In the hands of Miles Mack.
The ball screen has really been good offensive action for Rutgers, and they've been able to take Cincinnati off the bounce. I'd like to see them continue to use the ball screen and continue to attack off the bounce, especially as the basketball is reversed from side to side.
Judge from outside. Copain pulls the string and then drives it out.
This match inside could give it to him, that clear space.
Draws a double team, though. Jackson then surrounded. Swung wide open is Copain, but they close in a hurry, but not before he buries a 3.
Troy Copain can really stick it from the three-point line, 35% on the year. Hurt his shoulder the other night, so it was questionable if he was even going to play today, but he looked pretty good when he let that one fly.
Had to get on quickly. Jerome Segeers with it.
Nice.
More. Oh, every time he drives, he creates something different.
He's so quick with this first step, and he's so strong that when he absorbs a little contact, he's still able to finish at the rim. We said earlier that dribble penetration's been really good from Rutgers, especially when they reverse the rock.
A lob from the back door to Shaq Thomas. And Seagears running the point. Waving out the offense. J.J. Moore trying to find his way open. Drives to an open spot. Jump shot no good. Jackson clears. Get out of there. Propane handled by Seagears. Patrick gets back from Rubles.
Nice job getting over that screen.
Davis doing a great job on Kilpatrick. Tremendous job, though, by Justin Jackson to drive underneath.
It's really a nifty move by the big man. He's really worked on his ability to attack off the bounce. That was a little crossover dribble, finishing it with the weak hand. Nice move by Justin Jackson.
Can you drive the defense away from the ball with Sean Kilpatrick?
I think if you want to get Sean Kilpatrick a good look, sometimes it's good. Wow, nice pass.
Jackson finish.
Ooh. Wow. We've talked about Cincinnati's stout defense.
North here to Piscataway.
Yeah. Kennedy Meeks and Nate Britt have really been giving North Carolina some nice production. I had the Duke game at Wake Forest last week where Wake Forest upset Duke, and I think Jabari Parker, as versatile as he is, I think they're playing him too much on the perimeter. He's so good when he catches the basketball down in the low box. He makes quick moves down there. He can turn and face you and get to the rim. If they're going to beat North Carolina, I think they have to get him the basketball down in the low box. Tough shot.
Yeah. When he hits the side of the backboard, you know it's about. Copane goes right in, switches to the left hand, and drops it down. Cincinnati's first lead on a 12-2 run.
If you take tough shots, ill-advised shots against Cincinnati, they will make you pay, and that's been the difference in the last 2 minutes of this game for Cincinnati. A little bit more pace to this game now.
Well, Patrick, little crossover to the left. Won't go down.
It's about his third ball that has just danced around the rim.
Kone wide open, steps inside the arc, and a little deep.
He's not a great jump shooter, Kone. I like him better when he catches and shoots the basketball right away. He's in a better rhythm. He took an unnecessary bounce on that one, and that's not his game.
Jackson off the glass. Yeah, if you're going to move in 6 inches, and inside the arc, if you're going to knock down the shot. Remember the year that Rick Pitino used to pull guys off the floor if they took a shot just inside the arc? There's a three-pointer outside. Seagears.
He's coming in this game 3 of his last 13 from the three-point line. Rutgers needs Seagears to knock down some shots to give some balance to their offense.
Rubles moves to his right. 3 posts, gets it back, spins. Just off the iron. Seagears. Little steps. Greg Brown tried a little crossover and did a little dance.
Justin Jackson has really raised his level of play. Mick Cronin says about Kashmir Wright. He said the offense was built around Kashmir Wright last year, who played well early in the season, but then due to a midseason injury, didn't play as well. This year, he decided to go inside out, and it starts with Justin Jackson playing so much more confidently with his moves down in the low post, and we've seen him operate well so far in this game from the low block.
Coach Cronin says you cannot, in college basketball, win just playing a perimeter game. You've seen that. Rubles drives in and goes a little strong but gets fouled.
Little miscommunication there by Rutgers defensively, now opening up some gaps for dribble penetration. Cincinnati, last few possessions have been really good off the bounce.
Cincinnati has a lot of options that are long, lean players that can get to the rack and hurry.
I think that's what makes them also so good defensively. They're able to use that length to clog up lanes.
The NBA's MVP frontrunners headline ABC's Sunday Showcase. At 1, King James leads the Heat on the road against the Bulls. And at 3:30, Kevin Durant and the Thunder make their way to LA to face the Lakers. ABC's NBA Sunday Showcase starts at 12:30 with NBA Countdown presented by Speed Stick Gear. Who do you like for the MVP in the NBA? Durant or LeBron?
I always have to go with LeBron because he does so much on the floor other than scoring. Wonderful distributor, guards 1 through 5. Hard to not give it to LeBron. I tell you what, I like LeBron in the tank top, not the T-shirt.
Well, he agrees with you. But if you wear a looser one, he'd be okay. Stop trying to show off your guns. Play hoop. Cincinnati, nice job defensively. Kilpatrick comes to the ball. Drops it back. Copain to Thomas. Steps into the jump shot. Good.
Kerwin Okoro late on the closeout. Rutgers, who have been pretty good defensively early, getting back in transition well and closing out shooters. Now they've made a couple of mental mistakes defensively in a row, and Cincinnati's been able to take advantage.
With the block, Judge has it stripped.
Can't bounce it down in there. Cincinnati's defense is too good converging to the basketball.
Thomas pulls it back out.
Let's see Cincinnati continue to work Justin Jackson on the interior, and when they're moving it around the horn, continue to attack the gap to get to the rim. Nice.
Kilpatrick steps up a 3 and knocks it down over Koenig.
I wondered earlier, after getting off to an 0 for 4 start, if that one made free throw would get him on track. And boy, he shot that one with a lot of confidence, taking his time, and that's the improvement in his game this year, the poise as Cincinnati's in the 2-3 zone.
Koenig comes back and answers with a 3 of his own.
Remember we talked about earlier with Koenig, he's a much better catch and shoot guy than he is shooting it off the bounce. Good example of it in that last possession.
Titus Rubles. Thomas pulls up, the foot on the line. Oh, rebound almost bounced around and dropped in.
Gonna attack the elbow area, the free throw line area against this 2-3 zone, but when they catch it there or in the short corner, have to make quick decisions because Cincinnati is long and will strip it if you try to put it on the floor.
Okoro from deep knocks in a 3. Wow, that thing brought rain.
He's a 40% three-point shooter. That's his 3rd made 3 on the year. Cincinnati's been able to get buckets or fouled. I'd like to see them continue to get to the rim like that.
Oh, nice passing. Great passing by Cincinnati down there.
How about the awareness by Justin Jackson? Once he caught it, a little double team. But I like the fact that Cincinnati didn't just stand on the perimeter, which most teams do. Sean Kilpatrick saw a lane, took that lane, and nice pass underneath from Justin Jackson.
Rutgers kind of weathered a storm there before coming back and getting that Okoro 3. Koenig scored a 3 and then Okoro a 3. So you give the Scarlet Knights some credit for staying with that, because it looked like Cincinnati for a while had found their groove and they could rack up and run away a little bit.
No, defensively they've been rock solid. They've just made a few mistakes over the last 3 possessions that's really hurt them. Cincinnati's done a nicer job of pushing tempo on missed shots and turnovers.
Judge with it. Faces up on Jackson. Big bump. Turns around. They got whacked on the arm a little bit there, but
he's got to make that move a little bit more quickly, because Cincinnati does a nice job of converging to the basketball once you put it on the floor. Jackson's got a mismatch inside. I'd like to see him throw it inside. God, give it to him, Sanders.
And there with Conan. Huge mismatch. But, you know what? There's a mismatch for everybody. Kilpatrick from outside.
That was a challenge three from J.J. Moore, who's about 6'6" with long arms. Again, he's a confident shooter. Missed some early. I still think that free throw, seeing it go through the net, has impacted his confidence on the offensive end.
Mack hasn't got his offense going yet. Jackson's going to get hit with the foul after Kadeem Jack on his jump shot there.
Sean Kilpatrick really struggling with his shooting early, but I like how he's not just set up for the jump shot, starting to get some.
Yeah, that should be number 12, Michigan, of course, not number 12, Indiana. Indiana's had that struggling season with a very young team.
Yes. I'll tell you what, Nick Stauskas for Michigan, one of the most improved players in the country, but teams started to really...
Canadian Nick Stauskas?
Oh, it's Canadian Nick Stauskas. You like that, huh? Canadian, Wiggins, I mean, it goes on.
Oh, there's a bunch of us. There's a bunch.
But his improved play, teams started to, towards the middle part of the conference, start to really keep one guy on and not allowing him to get in the airspace. But Karis LeVert has emerged into a star for Michigan.
Wolverines, of course. 14 years.
Nice move.
Jackson spins around. Oh, the ball spins out, though. Chases down and travels.
John, he is so much more patient in the post, Justin Jackson, this year than he was last year. Last year, he was moving a little too quickly. This year, he's catching, reading, surveying the defense, then making his moves. And he's had some nice counters to his initial thrust as well.
Cincinnati needs to win this game to assure a share of the American Conference champion. American Athletic Conference. Shot from outside. Knocked down by Miles Mack.
Wally Judge doing a nice job of setting an inside screen to create some airspace for Mack to get that shot off. Beautifully executed there by Rutgers.
Really hadn't gotten any offense out of Miles Mack.
Well, they've had some tall, long guys guarding Miles Mack, which is why he's not been able to get any open looks. That's what teams have done against him this year, is put a taller, longer guy on him to take away his airspace.
Patrick to Jackson. Floated that one in. Win. Long distance three is good.
Hey, he's looked very confident in shooting that three today. A guy who shoots 32% from the line. If Jelon Gwynn can make three-point shots like that, Cincinnati's really tough in the half court.
Stepped on the end line.
This is what Cincinnati looks like when they're guarding Miles Mack. He's only 5'9", and when they contest the shot, he has no vision, no airspace, and that's what's taking place tonight. Why you see their leading scorer not able to get any but one shot attempt in this game. Cincinnati's doing a really nice job of being aware of where he is on the floor. In most cases, there's a 6-inch height disparity between his defender and himself.
Jackson gets bumped. Is that how you play defense?
That's what it looks like when I'm guarding you.
Oh, you wouldn't have to. You wouldn't have to go. You wouldn't even have to get out of a chair.
Oh man. Yeah, and that's what you do when you're playing against a smaller guy defensively. You want to give them a cushion so they can't beat you off the drive, but be close enough that you can challenge the shot. Cincinnati's done a really nice job against him, limiting his possessions as well.
Well, J.J. Moore with the foul. And they're into the bonus. Kilpatrick to go into the line.
John, I don't think Sean Kilpatrick gets enough credit for how well he moves without the basketball. Does a really nice job of knowing exactly the spots to get to.
That's a great point. Coach Bob Knight always talks about players that he had in Indiana. I think Steve Alford. How well he would move without the ball.
So much more difficult to guard when you're moving without the rock. A very quiet 10 for a guy who went off 34 night against Memphis.
But right on his averaging 20 points in the conference. Lead.
It's an explosive score. About second all-time to Oscar Robertson in
you know
Cincinnati history.
I think he want to be second.
Oh, the only 2,000-point scorers in Cincinnati history. Amazing.
You know what I mean? That's one time when you say, I want to be second. I want to be second to Oscar Robertson. Kone tries to enter the ball. Patrick strips that away. Win. Shot clock. About 10 seconds difference.
I'm surprised that a lot of college teams don't go for 2 for 1 like we did in the NBA to want the last possession offensively. A lot of times they'll isolate Sean Kilpatrick up at the top, or they'll set a high ball screen to try to free him up for a shot.
Clock under 10 now. Back outside. Sanders, three-pointer, off the mark. Oh, a nice job by Kone to keep that ball alive. Oh, plenty of time. And Moore lets it go. And now Kone for three off the back iron.
Oh, missed opportunity by Rutgers there. And you don't expect that from a veteran in J.J. Moore. When you catch it, you got to take a look at the clock and then go.
Yeah, scoring out of Miles Mack. See, SMU is leading Memphis right now 30-26 at halftime. Important matchup for Cincinnati because of all of the possibilities. I'm not going to explain them all to you, but it could involve a coin flip for who gets the #1 seed overall in the American Athletic Conference.
It'll be interesting to see how Memphis finishes that game. Cincinnati's such a physical defensive team. They may not have enough gas in the last 5 minutes to finish against SMU.
Patrick just threw it to an open area, and Judge got there first. And as a result, Justin Jackson commits the foul.
I think Sean Kilpatrick was expecting Justin Jackson to go back door, then panicked at the last moment and threw it over the top. I thought that was a really good read by Wally Judge, getting into the passing lanes to get a hand on that pass.
It almost looked like he couldn't get it to one of his teammates, so he just threw it to an open area and hoped somebody would run there. Deep three. J.J. Moore really deep. A tremendous job of rebounding by Kadeem Jack.
Kadeem Jack was able to get some in the middle of that first half. They're going to need him to get them some buckets on the low box here in the second half.
Saw the possibilities, but most important for Cincinnati, I guarantee you, is getting a share. And there's a travel. The crowd may have helped with that decision. But if you get a chance to get a share of the conference championship, that's what's important for Cincinnati.
Important indeed. Look how patient he was, Kadeem Jack, when he caught that basketball underneath. I've been really impressed with the bigs for both teams today with how patient they are when they catch it, even in traffic. It's not something that you see consistently throughout the collegiate game. A lot of guys rushing, and when you rush, you make mistakes.
Jack throws it outside to Mack. Moore drives, reverses, won't stay down. Thrown down by Judge.
I thought that ball was still in the center.
Yeah, I did too. I expect to see that one waved off. And Cincinnati wants a timeout. All right, take a look, ref.
That's a really nice drive by J.J. Moore. Part of that is you're so familiarized with the team that it's tough to beat a team, in this case, 3 consecutive times. That would be a major slip-up for Cincinnati.
You can see the importance of getting a 1 seed. Payne looks to drive, throws it back outside. Jump shot is knocked down and buried by Johnson.
Kevin Johnson doing a really nice job, 25 in black, of relocating from the wing to the corner, making the defender have to make a longer run to try to challenge that shot. good half-court execution there from Cincinnati.
Johnson didn't see him a lot in the first half, but he's made a difference thus far early at 3. Then a steal ahead to Copain, drops it down.
And John, we talked about that earlier. This Rutgers team has had a difficult time in a couple games turning that basketball over. In the last 2 games in their losses, 41 points surrendered off turnovers.
Rubles and Mack got tied up and both hit the deck.
For you young kids looking at home, watch the dribble drive to the painted area and watch him relocate. J.J. Moore thought he was actually going to recover to the wing, making it too long. And how about the steal on the next play, allowing Copain to get out and transition to score? I think that's when Cincinnati's at their best, when they're creating offense off of their defense.
Jackson picks up that foul.
Justin Jackson picking up his 3rd foul. That's huge for them because, again, they're predicated, Cincinnati, their offense, on being able to throw the basketball inside to Justin Jackson, but he also is really good when he catches it at that free throw line area. Terrific passer, as we've seen so far.
Now Rutgers comes with the pressure. Cincinnati says we see this every day in practice.
It's something that Rutgers worked on in their practice yesterday, just trying to slow it down, and those precious ticks off the clock don't allow you to get into the 3rd rotations of your offense or the 3rd phases of your offense.
Cincinnati, again, what impresses me is their length and the ability of their big guys to handle the ball as well.
Well, Titus Rubles plays 4 for them, but he's really a 3. A guy who is really working on his jump shot. Hasn't shot it very well from the perimeter, but he's at his best when he's putting it on the deck and trying to get to the rim. A willing passer as well.
He's a capable scorer. Rubles did have 24 earlier this year.
Coming in this game, he'd made 16 consecutive free throws. He's really been on a roll.
Mack, who again, he had a 3 in the first half, but has not got his offense going. Averages about 15-0, and E2's entry pass down to Judge was nowhere near him.
And that's one of those cases when you catch it and there's such a hard 3-quarter drape on the post player, is you got to take that step and really use your left hand to drill that basketball in there off the bounce. That's too tough an angle to try to make that pass with your right hand.
Copain picks the dribble up. Goes to the baseline. Johnson. Fires one down. To Lawrence. Drives in baseline. Tries to throw it back in the middle of Rubles. But gets away, and Mack has it. Pulls up for 3 on transition. And it's good.
And John, we talked in the first half about Rutgers creating some pace on missed shots. I think it's to their advantage if they can try to get some easy ones in transition. The Cincinnati defense is too tough to play against time after time in the half court. But he shuffled his feet on that one.
Yeah, Copain fires it though, and Johnson knocks in a 3. Johnson played about 2 minutes in the first half.
Yes.
Has come in and hit 2 big 3-pointers. And Rutgers needs a timeout as Eddie Jordan wants to make sure this thing doesn't get away. Full day of conference championship.
5 or 10 in the country, and a team that's so efficient can beat you in so many ways, John. They have great guard play, bigs who get after it on the interior, and they're a pace team who can play in the half court as well. Muffet McGraw's team, really good. They have a very good chance of hanging another national championship banner this year.
Do you want to sing the fight song next?
You got it. You want it in Spanish? Oh, yes.
Oh, the bump, but Kadeem Jack is strong enough to get it over the iron.
On the dribble drive, the ball screen, action's been really good. Mack able to hit.
They do it with their defense that unites their offense, but really they've done a great job of getting the ball inside.
Yeah, their bench play has been terrific as well. 16 points on the day, led by Troy Copain, Jermaine Sanders, of course, getting them started in the first half. Kevin Johnson's been terrific off the bench as well. 6 points in this game, 2 for 2 from three-point stripe.
Rutgers again. Trying to force a turnover. Copain almost does just that. Rubles now.
Nice.
Down the baseline. Lawrence hangs it, bangs it in.
John, I love that. When you can get through the first and second wave of the pressure, you have to be in attack mode because you have numbers on the backside. Cincinnati doing a nice job of looking over top. Rubles in transition and gives it up underneath. A nice pass to Jermaine Lawrence. I'll tell you what, this freshman here, number 11, Jermaine Lawrence, has a chance to be special. That's 4 fouls now on Wally Judge. That's a huge loss there for Rutgers because he really does a nice job of anchoring their defense on the inside.
You mentioned Lawrence, the freshman. He was coming along very nicely for Mick Cronin, then banged up his toe in January. And really couldn't do much of anything. Moore. Ooh. That shot was a little flat by E2.
That wasn't a pass.
It was a bad pass. Moore now crosses over and tries to drive and gets fouled.
Take a shot in the chin with the forearm as well.
Or to the throat.
Yeah. Watch as he's driving. Just when he begins to fall. Ooh, little forearm there from Troy Copain, who's really just trying to protect himself. J.J. Moore still a little shaken up.
Came out on senior day. Had his daughter with him. Saying, I have a great day. He was scoring, and now somebody jacks me in the throat. Mack now pulls it back out. Mack drives. Nice. Back outside to Moore. Oh, 3 halfway down the net. Copain hands it off to Johnson. Johnson's been key in the second half with a couple big threes. Rubles back out. Johnson, another 3. That one's short. Comes right, though, to Sanders, and he drops it in.
Rutgers that time getting caught in the scramble, had to give help on dribble penetration, and no one recovered out to their guys. And when you do that, lanes for offensive rebounds are wide open. Cincinnati taking advantage on that possession. Notice their offense a little bit different. Rutgers. Wow, that's a bad shot.
Yeah, Mack lines up a 3, and then Moore in tight and misses a chippy right there.
And part of that's a function of Wally Judge being in foul trouble over on the bench. The offense doesn't run as smoothly with him over there.
Moore. Woo, boy, nice job to hang on to the basketball. It's almost stripped.
How about that body control?
Yeah. And how about Cincinnati throwing the ball away? There's been a couple of times where Cincinnati has really helped Rutgers out with some poor choices at the offensive end.
Yeah, with this lineup in, a little bit younger guys playing a little too quickly.
Kilpatrick back on the floor now. Oh, my God. Kadeem Jack just ignited from the baseline.
They're at their best when Kadeem Jack is playing well on the interior. Very bouncy, good passer. They've been a little reluctant to throw it to him on the low box. He's had some opportunities, but his guards have missed him.
Johnson comes right back to him and lays it off the glass.
How about that from the freshman? The awareness to be able to locate the basketball and pick it back up for a layup. Dribble penetration has been really good for Rutgers. I'd like to see them continue to try to attack off the bounce.
Moore again with his muscle and flexes them.
It's it's interesting because we've talked about over and over again how Rutgers has really had an advantage when they've been able to put it down on the deck. It's unusual for Cincinnati to get there late.
No, the foul's going to go against Moore.
When you put it on the floor against Cincinnati, you have to go strong. Rutgers has done a really nice job of beating them off dribble penetration. The rotations have been early. They've just been out of position. That's a little abnormal for the Cincinnati team, who's usually pretty good at converging on the basketball. Ask Memphis about that one.
Johnson all into Kilpatrick. Rutgers just parted the seas.
Yeah, no lack of communication there by Rutgers. Anytime you look down and you see all three players kind of going, what? You know, someone didn't communicate.
I thought you had him.
I thought you had him, John.
Jack hands it off to Matt.
Keep driving it if you're Rutgers.
A little jump step. Won't go down, and just like that out of there in Cincinnati. Chance now to go up by double digits. Jackson.
Nice.
Johnson a little bit short on his jump shot.
Got a push here.
That Matt goes at it, but quickly double teams. Oh, more underneath. Reverses it, goes up, tips it back in.
I thought he was fouled on the first one.
Certainly a lot of body contact.
Well, John, we said in the first half for Rutgers, anytime Cincinnati misses, you have to put the pressure on their defense by pushing some pace and trying to get some easy ones. Rutgers did a really nice job on that possession.
Patrick just a quick trigger. Rutgers just doing enough to stay right there. Okoro, three-pointer is good.
And John, that's where you have to understand your matchups. Okoro is the one guy that's shooting 40% from the three-point line. You got to close his airspace and force him to put it on the deck.
Recognize your personnel. Lewis defending. And send it the other way.
Wow, that's 5 on Jackson. If that's on Jackson, he may be out of the game.
That foul is on Jackson. And decided to let him play. And I'd done a commentary earlier this year on a Sunday morning about Okoro, so it's kind of fun for me to get a chance to do a game with him.
Yeah, he's not really known for his scoring, more of a defensive guy. But again, if you allow him room to get off a three-point shot, he'll knock it down. He's knocked down 2 so far in this game.
Mack drives. Nice. Puts it up on the iron, but Rubles is there to grab the rebound.
Yeah, 5'9" is tough for Miles Mack to score over the length, especially on the dribble drive against Cincinnati.
Lawrence set that screen into Patrick. Some shot off of it. Kadeem Jack with the rebound. In the corner, Moore. Bump, drives, drops it down.
John, Cincinnati has not been able to contain the dribble drive from Rutgers. Every time down the floor, they should look to drive the basketball on the reversal. J.J. Moore has been fantastic today. 17 points in this game. He started aggressively driving the basketball early in the first half, and now he's back at it in the second half. He has been a handful for Cincinnati.
This is a chance to tie the game. And then it's compounded by Kadeem Jack committing the foul.
It's going to be interesting to see over the next probably 4 minutes for Cincinnati how they're going to get their scoring, because they're an inside-outside team with Justin Jackson with 4 fouls here on the bench. They're going to have to figure out a way how to get Sean Kilpatrick not only shots, but put him in position where he can be a playmaker, because he draws so much attention defensively.
Cincinnati has gone a little cold at the offensive end. Mack into trouble, and Moore gets contact all over his place, doesn't he?
He does.
He just seems to find a way to get a body on him. There's Moore again. Pulls up baseline, leans back, gets fouled.
I love how Rutgers is not settling for the jump shot. They know they have something good going. I wish Rutgers could have given J.J. Moore a little bit more room to operate. Kadeem Jack was in the low box. When you see your teammate drive and you have to space away to give him room to create, they were fortunate to pick up that foul on the drive.
17th foul with 9:06 to go here. Rutgers will be into the bonus for 1-1.
How about the senior? On senior,
oh, yeah.
J.J. Moore has been fantastic.
Gives Rutgers the lead. The ball was tipped by Okoro, but great job defensively.
Got to find Kilpatrick. Use him even as a decoy, as a playmaker to create easier shots for his teammates.
Gwynn got the bump from Lewis.
John Gwynn is so quick and strong off the bounce. He's got a pair of shoulders on him. It's tough to keep him out of that lane.
Rutgers last led at 15-13. And now this time Okoro with the foul. Starting to get physical. Starting to turn into a football game.
Yeah, Okoro fighting through that screen. You can't push your way through it. You got to contact it and then quickly try to get around it. It's a good call by the ref.
Ball to Patrick as Moore hits the deck. Kilpatrick knocks down a three.
When Kilpatrick comes off, that was a beautiful read. He knew that the defender was trailing. Nice little curl to come into that jump shot, but you have to get a stunt off the passer to take away that quick J.
Jack drives, drops it down to Moore. Oh, a lot of body contact there.
Wow.
It didn't look much different than any of the other ones where he drove.
Yeah.
Got a whistle. Nice entry. Jack. Woo! Kadeem Jack will go to the free throw line.
I tell you, Rutgers has played a fearless brand of basketball. They have not been afraid to attack Cincinnati off the bounce. When they've gotten it around the rim, they've gone up strong and either scored or gotten fouled.
Just 5 of 12 in league play for Rutgers. An 11-19 season overall for Eddie Jordan in his first year. But you remember that he had to come in here and clean up a lot.
Yeah.
They just didn't have enough to field a team when he first got here. A couple players that had left returned.
4 players.
Yeah, it started out with 4 players when he came.
Eddie Jordan is a phenomenal coach. He's going to get this program moving in the right direction.
Whoa, Kilpatrick. Wow. Well, the whistle may have been late, according to Kilpatrick with 2 shots that the fans feel he did not deserve.
I've been really impressed with Sean Kilpatrick. Outstanding leader. Played in the World University Games this summer, and all the coaches just raved about his leadership, his attitude, and his work ethic. Pretty good praise coming from Davidson's coach, Bill McCullough. Frank Martin South Carolina, you know what he expects of you as a player. So if he's lauding you, you know you must have a good work ethic.
Frank Martin publicly apologizing actually for how much he has demanded of his team this year, and going to sit one down. Mack. And he gets fouled.
He does a really nice job when he's on the bounce of recognizing where the defender is. At 5'9", he's got to be able to create some space. A little step back move there. Able to draw a foul.
Mack, of course, returning to this team as a leader. A leader last year in the full team, but with the team defecting and falling apart with the loss of Coach Mike Rice, who's being fired, and Eddie Jordan having to take over. As we said, got here, didn't have enough to play a game because it was 4-on-4. Nice drive. You really have to applaud. Not that you're saying anything about the players who decided to go elsewhere and relocate, but you have to say a lot about the guys who stuck around through all the turmoil that they went through here.
Well, Eddie Jordan, again, such a great guy, has had experience at both levels, and it's just a matter of time before it turns around. He's got some good young players right now, but to your point, kudos to Miles Mack himself for sticking around, a guy who's had to bear the pressure of carrying the offense without his running mate Eli Carter, who before the games, Miles Mack told me that he made the game so much easier for Mack to be able to play because he drew so much attention. He was able to get some easier looks at the basket. Has not been the case this year.
Cincinnati, the bench, a deep one, and they got 25 points from today. Mack now, season open, spins it into the middle. And the youngster Lewis goes up, and he'll go to the free throw line. Lewis will go to the line now. As we've suddenly slowed this thing down, the pace of this game has really come to a free throw halt.
Well, I think what you're seeing right now is the difference in Cincinnati's defense when Justin Jackson, their energy guy, long block shots, is now on the bench with 4 fouls. It really impacts their tenacity defensively, and you lose a rim protector as well.
Deep on both of those, and comes up empty, and Quinn rather comes up with the loose ball. And it to Kilpatrick, and then cut down and missed him. Oh, and a clear out.
Moving screen. Yep. Jermaine Lawrence, number 11 in black. And that's where you have to, as a big, come to a standstill. And wow, that's 5 fouls now on Lawrence. And you lose a very versatile big who can score it for you, can defend. But that's where you have to be still, John, as a big, and allow the guard to use you versus head hunting the defensive player that's guarding the guard that you're bringing off.
Lawrence, the freshman, goes to the bench. He'll be an assistant coach the rest of the game.
Dean Jack has a little one on him down in the post.
Mack drives, just throws it up. The follow won't go by Lewis. Could have gathered that one and taken it back up. Rubles. This is Sean Kilpatrick's time.
What do you call it there?
On cue or what? You know, I mean,
well, he's there with Jermaine, with Jackson out of the game, Justin Jackson, he's their offense. And so they have to figure out ways how to get him open. One of the things that they do is they pin down on the weak side and allow him to use the screen coming off. Kilpatrick's a terrific reader of the screens.
Nice job by Jack rather. He'll kiss that off the glass.
He's been quietly really good, Kadeem Jack, today for Rutgers. Been active on the glass. He's been able to get through some buckets in the lane. And that's an area of his game that he's really been working on, is trying to knock down that 12 to 15-foot jump shot.
Rubles. Oh, tries to pull up himself. Ooh, well short. Well short.
Well, you have to make sure every time down the floor, late game situations, Kilpatrick's got to touch it.
Moore just off the mark. Oh, and Moore, great read, gets in there and steals the ball. Gives it to Jack, who hands off to Mack, who launches it long three. Look at Moore. He's possessed in this game. At travel. J.J. Moore's having fun today?
Well, he's been doing so many things. Been scoring it, been playing good D. An experienced guy from Pitt who gives up his body. Watch this read. Jumps in the passing lane. Gets on the floor. Fights for the basketball. You wouldn't guess that this Rutgers team has the record that they have because they've been battling all game long. I'm looking at Rubles out there on the floor. I'm glad they took him out, Cincinnati. He looked a little gassed. I think there's a little hangover from playing under 2 games in under 48 hours after a big emotional win over Memphis on Thursday night.
Kilpatrick doesn't seem to any worse for wear as he dropped in that game 34. Yes, and now a travel at the other end.
It's a good call. Got to put that basketball on the floor before you make that step. Jackson took 2 steps, took a little slide step with his pivot foot. That's a really good call by the baseline ref.
Rutgers has been a lot of tight ones, just 4-9, and that's the difference between knowing your system, having your players here for a while. You'll flip that around the other way, be 9-4 in those close games.
Over and over again. Now you repeat that process. And he said, my advice to you as a coach of AAU, be patient with that process.
Yeah, patience, I would say that bottom word is probably the most important of all of those words. At times, the other ones aren't going to work. Mack with Gwynn guarding him. Quick step, gets it up, won't stay down. Kilpatrick tries to save it, but that will belong to Rutgers.
John, the last 2 drives by Miles Mack have been really good drives. But we talked about earlier, with him being only 5'9", Cincinnati is getting their hands tipping a lot of those shots that would typically go down for him. That's 2 in a row now. Mack's missed 5 straight shots.
Jack, no good. Moore puts it on the floor and gets fouled.
Cincinnati foul 23, second personal foul.
Wow. They called him out of bounds.
I think it's when he threw this pass here. I think the ball hit out of bounds.
Yes, because right when he let it go is when his foot touched out of bounds. Good pick up there, John.
I can still see a little bit.
Well, the basketball's bigger than the hockey. You see it.
And moves slower, too. I should be able to follow it. You're right. Well, you have to give Rutgers a lot of credit because a lot of teams come in, final game of what's been an awful season as far as wins and losses are. You could have just come in and said, you know what, Cincinnati, here's your banner, enjoy your championship. And not this group of Scarlet Knights and not Eddie Jordan.
Well, they have had some turnovers, but they haven't been live ball turnovers. A team that's had 33 turnovers over their last 2 losses that have led to 41 points. Been really disciplined with the rock today.
And Mick Cronin gets a timeout because the last handful of possessions, they've just come up with nothing down there.
That's what's been missing over the last 2 minutes for Cincinnati.
Well, Cincinnati, of course, as I mentioned, playing for at least a share of the American Athletic Conference very first regular season championship. And if they win and Louisville were to lose, they'd have that outright in the #1 seed. Vice versa, of course, if Louisville wins and Cincinnati were to lose this game. But again, seeds are important, but more important is hanging that championship banner. Well, that one won't stay down for Sanders. Rattles around and out. Now Rutgers with a chance to regain the lead.
Memphis is up right now by 10 with 7 minutes to go.
That game will affect just who gets the #1 seed, depending on the outcome of this game and the Louisville game. Nice. Mack inside the arc. Jumper's good.
Beautiful utilization of the shot fake to create the airspace. Nice escape dribble. Got to get the basketball in the hands of Sean Kilpatrick and let him go to work, either as a scorer or as a playmaker. It's an offensive foul.
Yeah, Jackson clear. Oh, look at Jack get in there and reject that. And then Mack is really upset. But there's a foul called underneath. I agree with you. I thought that first turn, when he turned in, now things are going the way of Cincinnati, right?
Yes.
Cincinnati needs Memphis to win against SMU. Memphis up in that game?
They were up 12 the
Memphis
last
is
time
up in that game. Cincinnati could get a 1 seed if they could get out of here with a win.
It's going to have to be a lot of Sean Kilpatrick offensively. They're going to have to do a better job in his last 3 minutes of this game of containing the dribble drive, but Rutgers should look to continue to exploit it. I thought they got a little jump shot happy over the last 2 minutes. They were fortunate that Mack knocked it down. Continue to attack Cincinnati off the bounce. Get a layup or get to the foul line.
Well, that's not going to help you because you're going to have to start making some free throws. Especially the way this has been called the last 10 minutes or so. Jack, a little stutter step. Ooh, rimmed out for him. Now Kilpatrick. Throws it out to Gwynn, gets it back. Launches a three-pointer, just off the mark.
They didn't quite get squared up fully on that one. You know, John, we're looking at these guys, and they don't, Cincinnati, look like they're panicking. I think it's because they have older guys out there on the floor. Boy, missed opportunity there by Rutgers. Tell you, Rutgers that's their 11th turnover in this game, but Cincinnati's not been able to turn them into any points. Only 7 points off of those 11 turnovers for Cincinnati.
Now Rutgers tries to turn up the defense. Judge.
Nice move.
Oh, spun right around him. Oh, Jackson twice goes up and gets his own rebound.
His second leap is so quick.
Moore dumps it down. Jack. Moore for three. Just short.
John, I think that's fool's gold. I think you got to shot fake that thing and get to the basket. That's what's got Rutgers this lead here in the second half when they held it earlier. They have not been able to Cincinnati contain J.J. Wow, beautiful back cut.
Backdoor and Kilpatrick converts and gets fouled. Jackson with the pass.
Year. I thought that they would not finish in the top of the league, and the fact that they've been able to do that, Russ Smith has been terrific this year. Improved from the three-point line, 48% from the three-point shot, from three-point strike. His decision-making has been so much better, so I'm going to have to go with Russ-diculous.
I disagree.
You're entitled. It's a democratic process.
I'm a Sean Kilpatrick guy.
He's been good.
I've seen him take over too many games.
Yeah.
But you're right. Throw Napier in there any way you want to go. Look at Miles back, little step back. Oh, you gonna count that?
Wow. I thought he may have gotten that one before.
I did too. Mora with the drive.
I'd love to see the replay on that one.
Oh, that's still going up. The ball is still going up.
You know what happens sometimes is you anticipate. We see this a lot in Little League. You anticipate that it's going to be a goaltend, and you blow the whistle before you know. He quickly got that. As a shot blocker, that happened a lot. So frustrating. Good play, though, by Jackson.
Well, sometimes these kids are so athletic, as long as you think they can't get to that ball.
Yeah.
Now, here we go. 2-point game and a timeout called by Cincinnati with 15 seconds on the shot clock. 15 seconds between shot and game clock. So It'd be interesting if Rutgers can.
The basketball over, but it's not been live ball opportunities. They've limited second shots, and they've been able to run and get some easy ones in transition. Half court, they've been able to beat Cincinnati off the bounce. Big possession here.
Well, Patrick comes almost to meet Gwynn, wants Gwynn to give him the ball, and shot clock is at 5 right now. So Patrick, oh my goodness, does he cover a lot of territory in about 3 seconds? Wow.
That was an excellent move. He wanted to get the basketball. They were just
9.
John, I think with the lineup that Rutgers has in right now, many of these guys are speed guys. Kadeem Jack, number 11, being the tallest, they can all run. I don't think you settle for the J here. I think you try to get all the way to the rim, but you have to be aware of where Justin Jackson is because he's a tremendous shot blocker.
Mack ran into some trouble. Gets it back. Needs to launch something. Mack, three-pointer is no good. Okoro chases it down. Now he's going to try and launch a 3. That's off the mark. Mack then throws it back up, but would not have mattered. A valiant effort by Rutgers.
Yes.
Eddie Jordan's squad, they fought